So Freewell sent me their ND filters and polarizing ND filters for the Mavic 4. And before we jump into a little bit of a review about these, because they are unsurprisingly really fantastic, I want to talk about why you need ND filters, and especially why you need split strength ND filters when you have a drone with multiple cameras like the Mavic 4. But before we jump into that, you need to know that Freewell sent these to me to keep, test, and review, but they're not sponsoring this video. They don't get to see it before it's launched. And honestly, even if they hadn't sent them to me, I would have been buying them anyway, and I have bought a ton of other Freewell filters because they really are great filters. So why would you need ND filters? Well, it's all about controlling exposure. Because drones have smaller sensors, smaller cameras, they're flying, you can't do as much about controlling the exposure as you can in a regular camera on the ground. That being said, the Mavic actually has an aperture on the main camera, aperture control on the main camera, so you can control the exposure somewhat. But even in some cases there, you can't control it as much as you want to, so that's where ND filters come in. And because the Mavic has a different set of cameras, and two of those cameras are fixed at f2.8 and the other camera is f2.0 or up to f11, you want split strength ND filters to be able to keep your exposure settings and your exposure, or your camera settings and your exposure, the same across the board. And that's where Freewell's fantastic split ND filters and split ND polarizer filters come into play. So first, you could see here that if I set my shutter speed to what would be right, which would be 2 times my frame rate, then you can see that it's way overexposed. Now, why is that important? Well, let's set the shutter speed to where we can get it to where it's properly exposed. There we go, 1/6400. And let me get the drone up in the air. And then we are just going to rather quickly circle around. Let's go this way. Circle around as fast as we can, maybe. There we go. So now, if I stop the video right here, what you're going to see is that there is a whole bunch of not artifacts, but you see every single individual little thing, all the rocks. There's no motion blur at all. And this becomes especially apparent when we switch to the tighter lenses, because then your motion is going to be a lot faster looking than with the wide camera. So here you can see, like, there is not a lot of motion blur going on around the drone as I'm whipping around myself. So now we'll bring the drone back and we'll swap and put a proper strength ND filter on there. So how do you choose a proper strength ND filter? We've got Freewell's split ND filters here, which are the ones that if you're going to get any of them, I would recommend these, and there are links in the description, of course. But it's as simple as this. You go to your camera settings on your drone, make sure it's in pro mode, go to your shutter speed, and then set your shutter speed where it should be, which in this case is going to be 1/20 because I'm filming in 6K 60. Optimal aperture on the Mavic 4 is f2.8. And then you select an ND filter. Just pick your best guess as to which one might be right and try it. So we're going to pop the cover off here, and you'll see that this, like, you know, they go on really well. They pop straight on just like they should, or just like the DJI cover does. And so that's pretty good, but you can see we're still overexposed by a stop, so it's not quite strong enough. Now on the Mavic, we could just put or close the aperture down, but let's get it as close as we can. So we're gonna go to the ND32 and ND64 combination. And there we go. Now we're +3, but that's because we're looking at a lot of clouds and a lot of snow out there. So that is the ND filter we're gonna go with. Let's do some more motion blur tests and see what a difference that makes. All right, drone's in the air. I think it's about where it was last time. I should have paid closer attention. Active track, point of interest, and then let's just boogie. So you can see here in the background especially now there's a lot more motion blur, and that is what we want because that's the way our eyes, our brain perceives motion. And let's just switch to the 2.5x camera just to also give you an idea on that one. Same thing. So here again, you can see that the background is much more blurred as it races around because I'm really going way faster than I actually would, but it's just a demonstration to show you that you do want motion blur in here. And then if we switch to the 6X, like you can really see a difference here where there is a lot more motion blur in the background, which there should be because we're really ripping around me here as I'm talking. In the past, one of the things that I didn't like about Freewell filter cases, just the cases, was that the stock lens guard cover from DJI wouldn't fit. But now with these new ones, it fits perfectly and the case closes just right. So that is a nice thing now. With this kit, you get 4 filters. You get an ND4, ND8, a split ND4, ND8, a split ND16, ND8, a split ND32, ND16, and a split ND32 and 64. So that gives you pretty much everything you need to cover basically everything. Now, we need to talk about polarizing filters, but before we do that, there's a little lake down here. We're just gonna run down and do that. Now, there's another kind of filter for your drone that you may wanna consider, especially if you do a lot of photography, and that's a circular polarizer, which Freewell has made here. This will help control reflections on things like the water behind me, which we'll get into in just a second. But they've also made a split ND filter and circular polarizer combination. This, you have to be careful with polarizers. We'll talk about why, but this is the only split ND filter where it's a split strength ND plus a circular polarizer. So what are circular polarizers good for? I'm so glad you asked. Let me show you on this water behind me here. So this is footage without a circular polarizer. You can see all the reflections in the water, which sometimes, yes, you actually do want that because it can be a very cool, very neat, creative element. But here you can see, you know, we got all these, I mean, honestly, they are pretty cool reflections in the water here. And if we go straight up, you can, or look straight down, you can see, like you can see into the water, but maybe not that much. You know, there's some reflections there and stuff from the clouds today. But now let's put a circular polarizer on and look and see what the difference looks like. Now, circular polarizers are great in certain use cases, but you do have to be careful with them because they do, by their nature, polarize. This little white line, you have to line this up with the sun and then fly that direction. So with drones, it's a little bit trickier to use these things this way, but if you get the drone pointed the direction you want to fly, and or the direction you want to take a photo or whatever you might want to be doing with that, and then set the polarizer, like I'm showing you here on screen, to where it gives you the look that you want, whether that's extra saturation in the blues and greens or gets rid of reflections in water, then you have to stay flying that direction. Then if you're going to change and fly a different direction, you have to bring the drone back, change the polarizer, and do that again. That's why I feel like polarizers are more for photography than they are for video, but let me show you. So you can see here, like, it doesn't cut the reflections down completely, but it did cut it out a little bit. Not all the way, but somewhat. And you can also see if we're looking straight down, like you can see down in the water a little bit easier. So depending on what you're wanting to shoot, like a polarizer might be nice to have. You can see as I rotate and go away from the angle of polarization that the reflections come in and come out quite a bit. Now, along with that, they did send me their diffusion glow mist quarter filter, which could be useful if you want to soften light, especially if you're filming around city lights at night. Then that could be a useful topic. Right now, it doesn't really get dark up here, so I haven't really had a chance to test it. But here's some footage that I filmed, like shining a bright light straight into the Mavic. And you can see how much it softens it versus not. And, you know, that could be useful depending on what you're wanting to film. But they do make other filters that could come in very useful if you film certain types of stuff. And one is hyperlapses. If you film a lot of hyperlapses, then I would highly recommend picking up an ND1000 because that is going to allow you to keep your shutter speed open much longer and give you a lot more motion blur on your hyperlapses. And that makes hyperlapses look really, really good. In fact, I ordered an ND1000. It didn't make it here in time for this video, but it does help make your hyperlapses look much better. Let me know in the comments below if this helped you. Otherwise, you're going to want to watch this video right over here where I give you some more tutorials on how to use drones. I'll see you over there as always. If you have questions, ask me in the comments below or join my live stream, which happens most Wednesday nights at 4 p.m. Alaska time, 8 p.m. Eastern. We can have more of a conversation. I can answer questions that maybe I didn't get to in this video. There's a storm coming in. I got a couple miles to hike back and get off these mountaintops, so I'll see you again soon in the next one. Cheers.